What should be the average time for a brand to complete launch, grow, scale, and exit track?
24 months. If you're
Okay.
going to be Amazon tracked, you
Mm-hmm.
need within 12 months of the brand
Mm-hmm.
hitting up to seven figures, you should be opening multiple channels. And then within the next 12 months, you have a exitable business. The ones that get the
Okay.
higher multiples will go and
Mm-hmm.
be more than 24 months old, and they will
Mm-hmm.
obviously have more than 15% net profit. You get to 18 to 25%. You have multiple millions. You're making great profit. You got a good upside potential, operational independence, and a great brand segment that's not been currently exploited even on multiple channels. That
Okay.
is when you should exit that business.
Okay. So, how to make a profitable business from low price products?
Excellent. So you can go in and there's brand vertical and brand horizontal. I'm going
Yeah.
backwards, horizontal and vertical. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Growth within Amazon, right? How would we do that?
Mm-hmm.
If you've got a profitable business going from a low price product, you could sell bundles of that product. You could look for the additional and complementary product that the customer is
Mm-hmm.
currently buying and launch those products at a higher tier.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a really
Mm-hmm.
funny idea. Why not go back and list your same product at a higher price point and see what happens?
Okay. Okay. That's a new
Ever
one.
heard that one before?
No.
Okay. How
Okay.
about that, Mohammed?
Do you think one should directly start with Amazon for building a brand, or make an outside presence before jumping on Amazon?
That is a strategic decision. I have some friends that do very well on the direct to consumer
Mm-hmm.
channel, and they're very good at marketing. They know the traffic campaigns numbers. They
Mm-hmm.
understand the whole DTC world, which takes quite a bit of time
Mm-hmm.
and knowledge, and it's a lot of capital to get that testing and figured out if you don't understand what you're doing over there.
Mm-hmm.
Because you got to get eyeballs on the offer. All right. You got to get
Okay.
traffic, which sounds really good because I'll just go launch a campaign on Amazon for $50 a day and I'll get traffic. Yeah. Doesn't mean
Mm-hmm.
it's going to convert. When it does convert, it may be twice or three times the cost of the product. Maybe you got a
Okay.
conversion, you won, congratulations. However, that was not profitable. What's your
Mm-hmm.
upsell? What's your AOV? What's your downsell? What's your email? What's your SMS? So these are going to be technical things that you need to decide if you know how to do and you can do very well. That may be where you start. I
Mm-hmm.
prefer to take brand new people with no experience into Amazon. All right. The traffic is there, the product is there, the validation is there. And then when from
Mm-hmm.
profits, they can hire someone to go do the DTC channel and open that as a
Mm-hmm.
multi-segment. That's how I prefer to do it myself. But I have friends
Mm-hmm.
that would argue indifference and say, no, I'll go out here and do Shopify, et cetera. And then if it works, I'll come back to Amazon. Or I'll just launch some
Mm-hmm.
listings in Amazon and I'll get spillover traffic and that'll be okay with me. Again, it's a very strategic decision to weigh for
Mm-hmm.
yourself. I just personally have felt that
Mm-hmm.
new to novice sellers or even intermediate sellers who are doing less than 50,000 a month on Amazon are missing great opportunities to continue to exploit that channel larger first, get started in
Mm-hmm.
there, grow it larger, and then be moving multiple channels. There's a lot of knowledge it takes to run both of those things, as I mentioned earlier.
Have you noticed one thing that I'm like a big fan of Shark Tank? Okay,
Mhm.
so I keep on like searching those products on Amazon, and most of them are not performing that well. Okay, and
No.
the major problem, yeah, and the major problem which I have found is like they are selling at a way higher price as compared to the market. You can sell like $2-3 higher,
Yep.
but selling the same product, because whenever you launch or go to Shark Tank, a lot of competitors are also looking at you, and
They're
they
going to go
look
me
at like,
too your products because a lot of those
yeah,
Shark Tank products are Me Too products. A lot of the SEO
yeah.
products are Me Too products, and we won't launch a Me Too product in that because of that
Mhm,
reason of
mhm,
saturation and eventually market
mhm,
capitulation. Those are
mhm.
going to be ones I would not personally go after.
Okay, I have a quick question. Maybe you can answer.
Sure.
What are the functional aspects which you would consider for each of them? Like first is the launch process. What would the main functional aspect be which you would never ever want anybody to skip?
Yeah, I mean, fundamentally, you have to do what we call prime the engine. You have to get the engine
Okay.
to understand in time. Okay. People
Mm-hmm.
want to tend to rush this. When we launched products back in 2011 and 12, 13, et cetera, it was like free game 7 days or less. We could rank products very quickly and the engine would
Mm-hmm.
respond very differently than it does now. They put in a lot of compliance and policy issues to ensure people are not jacking with the system, faking reviews,
Okay.
doing the search and buy stuff, or doing anything that might look manipulative to the engine. And if you think you can
Okay.
outsmart the AI, you can't. So stop trying. Okay. Just play within the rules.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to
Mm-hmm.
look at a priming over 7, 21, 30, days.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to see that and want to see certain metrics occur from unit session
Mm-hmm.
percentage to the amount of traffic to A cost and TA cost if we're running campaigns right out of
Mm-hmm.
the gate, which I recommend you do. And we're looking
Mm-hmm.
for all those metrics to sort of dial in within
Mm-hmm.
the first 30 to 45 days. If
Okay.
it's not organically being reciprocated very quickly, it could be a number of factors from price to competition. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
it's a little more saturated than we originally thought. And maybe the
Okay.
campaigns on the PPC side are just not reaching as much. But at a mechanical level, it really gets down to the aspect at the beginning of your unit session percentage, both desktop and mobile,
Hmm.
right? Keep in mind,
Okay.
mobile is much more powerful now and actually has a larger audience than desktop on Amazon. So you need to
Hmm.
really make sure you're mobile optimized for your listings when you go to market, and make sure you're
Hmm.
hitting unit percent, session percentages at least above 20% or higher,
Okay.
or you won't compete with us.
Okay. So what would be the functional aspects which you would consider for growth and scalability?
So again, lateral or vertical scaling of your brands across additional products, product lines, and a really simple phrase that is literally the more products I launch on Amazon, the more money I'm going to
Hmm.
make. The most
Yeah.
important product example there was the bike seat. I'm not going to necessarily launch a bike seat and then go get into headlamps yet. I may launch variations of my seat across 3 different brand types and touch
Okay.
all the avatar of bike seats. Why? Because if I have one manufacturer who's creating my bike seat, do you not think
Hmm.
that one manufacturer could create the other 2 and make a 3
Yeah.
tiered versus going to
Yeah.
another manufacturer at another place with more complexity and trying to find a different person to
Hmm.
provide a different product? I can
Hmm.
scale much faster very quickly by simply digging into the gold mine of the products within my current scope. As long as they're profitable,
Okay.
I shouldn't be off
Hmm.
selling patio goods when I'm trying to sell bike seats. And I think a lot of people make that mistake. They think that they're going to
Hmm.
be limited by traffic distribution and opportunity, and they're actually wrong. That's a scarcity mindset. I'm trying to pull you into an
Okay.
abundance mindset. Okay. If you're
Hmm.
not selling a bike seat at the 3 different tiers and you're not making more than 50, 100,000 a month, you're still
Hmm.
sort of thinking that there's scarcity here because that's all on Amazon already. It's there. Trust
Okay.
me. So you have to be
Okay.
looking at how to take that vertical and brand vertical into your additional product lines to gain more sales, gain more profitability. Just make sure every product
Hmm.
meets that customer avatar and sells profitably. Pencils in.
Hmm. Cool, cool. So I guess this is it. Do you have any last words to say with the community?
Well, no. Are those all the questions? I guess I just want to make sure I
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
miss. Okay. Well,
yeah.
hey,
These
those are
are.
great questions. I
Mhm.
think in summary, I just want to reiterate the concept of building this business with the end in mind. I want to make sure we're
Mhm.
very clear that there are aspects of business building that I will risk more upfront to ensure the longevity and stability of the business on the upside
Mhm.
potential than most people are willing
Mhm.
to consider or take into mind when they launch this. So I'm
Okay.
going to spend in the first year 50 to 100K in startup cost and capitalization, where others might think 5K is something that's going to get me to market. Again, we're not
Mhm.
competing at the same level of business, right? And
Okay.
so if you want to compete at that level of business, you're going to have to go into the market to do what it takes to compete. You're going to have
Okay.
to go into the market with a little more war chest. You're going to have to go in with the right knowledge and strategies to make that competition work. And so,
Mhm.
this business of private label branding is not a side hustle game. Now, you might want to
Yeah, it's
drop
the
ship,
first
try
time.
wholesale FBA, or go play with one of those toss breaking. By the way, they do break the
Mhm.
toss, and that's more power to you. You might make some short term capital, but I will tell you from
Mhm.
personal experience, having scaled an FBA wholesale business to over 18 months to 12 people and 10 truck rolls a week of 18-wheeler
Mhm.
trucks, it is not as profitable or as fun as you might think. And
Yeah.
when we did it, Amazon was a lot more lenient on the terms of service.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
they're very strict on the terms of service. They have moved, as we had talked about over the last 5 years, moved people into private label branded expectations and requirements. Are making it easier for brand sellers to sell in the marketplace and gain more traction. And they're making it much more difficult for all the other business models. Okay. So if
Okay.
you're really going to be
Okay.
serious, approach it as private label branding, and you will have both upside potential, opportunity, and of course, an asset driven business model that is worth something
Cool.
in the end that someone wants to buy. So keep that in
Cool.
mind.
Before signing off, we have another question. So,
Oh,
how
sure.
you calculate the estimated budget for launching a single product brand?
So we have a 90-day cash flow plan that product fits into. And as it goes to
Okay.
market with the cash flow, as it goes to market with a cost and all the product development and stuff tied into it, we want to see
Mhm.
that product turn a positive ROI in 90 days. If all of those
Okay.
things are looking up, then we know that every 90 days it's going to go into profit, it's going to go into growth, and it's going to have upside.
Mhm.
That's why
Mhm.
if you were to take a deep dive into my case studies, you would find that at months 6 through 12, that's where all of my people's brands explode. So they're spending the
Okay.
first 6 months launching, building, testing, and growing, and then the market reciprocates that effort within months 6 to 12, and things can turn on
Mhm.
really fast. Daniel went from in May of this year to June, he went from 150,000 to 300,000 a month in sales in 1 month. He leveled up to the next tier of distribution because now he met
Mhm.
all the criteria to take over that seller traffic. Amazon said, "Hey, you're
Mhm.
the better seller. Here's more traffic." Okay.
Okay.
So for 4 months, he was at 75,000 a month. And then he jumped to 150,000 in 1 month. And the next month, he jumped to 300,000. What did he do differently?
Mhm.
Did he put in 100,000 in PPC campaigns? Did he launch
No.
50,000 new products? Did he run a whole bunch of TikTok campaigns? No, not at all.
Mhm.
Amazon's tiered traffic for his brand profile, seller profile, and products, all of the metrics inside his
Mhm.
account beat the next level of competitors. and he won the traffic and distribution, and he's barely tapping into 1% of the marketplace.
Cool. So we have another question here. What
Sure.
should be the strategy for you to launch a single product brand in this Q4?
Absolutely. So it's always great to test on that additional traffic. Just don't do it in this period prior to the Black Friday sales, or you will get eaten alive, because that's a bunch of tire kicker traffic. They're going to click on your PPCs. They're doing pre-shopping. They're not actually in buying mode yet. So I would wait until after Black Friday to launch your product. I know that sounds really weird. If you can get it done on Black Friday, you might have a little bit of a windfall out of the gate. Just understand the competition is going to be a little more difficult, but there's going to be a lot more traffic than any other time during the year, except for the Prime Days, which we got one coming up in November. Then you're going to want to take advantage of that. Just be ready for it. Because that traffic is there, and don't do it as a seasonal product, of course. If it's a winter-based product, sure, but you're going to watch that slope off really hard after March of next year. If it's an evergreen product, get it in the market and test it. Additional traffic and opportunity, you might take a lift, okay, that helps boost you into the next year. If it's a summer product, don't watch it. If it's a fall product, don't watch it. You understand where I'm going with this?
Yeah. Okay. So I guess this is it. Thank you so much for giving us the time and sharing your knowledge. This is the first time I'm hearing such unique answers. I'm going to be honest with it. And I'm glad I have connected with you. And for sure, we will be connecting in the future as well.
Thank you for your time. Thank you, everybody, for the great questions. I appreciate it. I'm honored. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Same here. Bye-bye.